Have you ever wondered why some people are so generous and others a bit stingy? Or why some people are full of ideas and others are obsessively meticulous? What if I told you that, according to Sigmund Freud, many of these personality traits could have secret roots in the very early stages of your childhood? Today we discover Freud's psychosexual stages and how they may have left an indelible mark on the person you've become. Hello everyone, and welcome to this new episode dedicated to the mysteries of the mind according to the great Freud. We've already discussed many fascinating concepts, and today we delve into one of the most classic and debated, the stages of psychosexual development. Freud believed that libidinal energy, our vital and pleasurable energy, is concentrated in different areas of the body, erogenous zones, as we grow, and that the way we manage the tasks and conflicts of each stage shapes our character. Prepare yourselves because you might discover some interesting traces of your past. Before looking at the phases, a key concept: fixation. If, at a given stage, a child receives too much gratification, is overstimulated or spoiled in that area, or, on the contrary, too much frustration, his needs are denied or harshly repressed, part of his libidinal energy may become fixed, blocked in that stage. This fixation, according to Freud, can lead to the development of certain personality traits or behaviors in adulthood that symbolically evoke that childhood stage. It's as if a part of us has become trapped there. Attention! We're talking about traces, trends, not rigid diagnoses. Approach everything with curiosity and a critical spirit. Okay, ready for the trip. Oral phase, from birth to approximately 18 months. The mouth is the center of the world. Erogenous zone, mouth, lips, tongue. Pleasure comes from sucking, eating, and biting. The child is completely dependent on the mother or caregiver for nourishment and well-being. The conflict task, weaning. Traces of oral fixation, if any. Oral receptive character, excessive gratification. Tendency toward dependency, passivity, naivety, and naive optimism. Perhaps a fondness for food, tobacco, drinking, and excessive conversation. Oral aggression, sadism, frustration, possibly during teething. Tendency toward sarcasm, verbal aggression, cynicism, envy, nail-biting, pen-biting. Example: that friend who never stops talking and always needs something in his mouth. Anal phase, from approximately 18 months to 3 years. Control is power. Erogenous zone, anus and functions excretory. Pleasure is linked to holding and passing stool. This is the stage of toilet training. Learning to control one's bowels, which represents the first real clash with social rules and authority. Traces of anal fixation. Anal retentive character, too rigid or punitive control. Tendency to excessive order, obsessive cleanliness, stubbornness, greed, perfectionism, control. Expulsive anal character, too permissive or chaotic control. Tendency to disorder, rebellion, impulsiveness, explosiveness, sometimes cruel or destructive. Phallic phase, from approximately 3 to 6 years. Discovering the differences. Erogenous zone, genitals. There's interest and curiosity about the sexual organs and the differences between men and women. This is the era of the Oedipus-Electra complex. We discuss this in a dedicated video. Conflict task. Resolution of the Oedipus complex. Identification with the same-sex parent. Development of the superego. Traces of phallic fixation, if any. Tendency toward vanity. Exhibitionism, excessive pride, seduction or, conversely, feelings of inferiority, shyness, difficulty identifying sexually, reckless behavior or exasperated competitiveness. Example: the person who always needs to be the center of attention and boast about their worth, or the one who feels extremely insecure about their own abilities. Freud could relate this to this crucial stage. Latent period, from 6 years to puberty, an apparent rupture. Erogenous zone. Sexual impulses are latent and sublimated. Libidinal energy is invested in schoolwork, same-sex friendships and hobbies. Task: consolidate identifications, develop social and intellectual skills. There are usually no fixations typical of this stage, but it is an important period for integration. Genital phase, from puberty onwards, towards maturity. Erogenous zone, genitals, but in the context of mature sexuality and relationships with others. If the previous stages have been overcome relatively harmoniously, the person is capable of forming intimate, loving, and responsible relationships. Task: develop a mature capacity to love and work, integrating aspects of the previous stages. Characteristics: ideal, capacity for altruistic love, responsibility, balance between one's own needs and those of others. Now, it's clear that this is a theory, a map proposed by Freud. Modern psychology has developed many other models of development. We shouldn't take these fixations as rigid labels or sealed destinies. However, Freud's insight into the importance of early bodily and relational experiences in the formation of our identity and how childhood conflicts can leave echoes in adult life remains a powerful contribution. It invites us to reflect on how our most distant past can still influence us, often in ways we don't suspect. And you? After hearing these descriptions, do you recognize any traces of these phases in your personality or that of your acquaintances? Obviously, in a very superficial way and without exaggerated self-diagnosis. Write it in the comments. I'm very curious to read your reflections and see if you have any ideas. If you enjoyed this journey into the roots of your personality, a like is a fantastic way to support the channel. Subscribe and hit the bell, because in the next video we'll talk about narcissists everywhere? Freud had it all figured out. Thanks for exploring these secret stages of childhood with me. Remember, getting to know each other is an ongoing adventure. See you next time. Bye.